Bing, bing. Hey, Bill. Hey, Bill. It's the Website One meeting. And we have Ben and Bill and Federico and Michael and Sam. Ooh, here we are.
Hello, everyone.
Hey there. Good to see you, Bill.
Cheers, mate.
All right. So, at the risk of formalizing things, so I guess little space for retrospective. That's what we're supposed to be doing. I mean, if we all had more time, we do have a whole session devoted to retrospective. I guess we've got this current flow at the moment. Does anybody have any just comments or thoughts about how we can improve our flow going forwards? I'll just, I guess, for consistent, I'll just review the flow that we currently have at the moment, which includes, we have, a weekly meeting where we, I guess we discuss, we troubleshoot. Perhaps most importantly, we vote on stories, or we kick off more votes on stories. Vote on stories. We have daily scrums where people can check in. We have, the Slack channel, and we have pull requests going on in the background. And that's sort of our project flow. There's also a waffle board. Does anybody have any thoughts or comments on the current flow in terms of changes they'd like to see? Or I know it's difficult putting people on the spot and so on, but just to create a little space here, you can always just DM me in Slack or what have you if you can't think of anything now. But does everybody understand the flow? And anybody think that we should tweak any tweaks we could make to it?
I think I do. I think I understand it. Was there anything that I didn't seem to understand that?
Oh, no. I think I mean, in the past week or 2 weeks, both Ben and Bill, you've both submitted pull requests for the first time, which have both got merged in. Bill's is on production. I think, Ben, yours is on the way there. And that's gone, from my point of view, all swimmingly. Federico and Michael, of course, older hands at this. It was I'm more just a second guessing myself, because I'm always assuming that people have understood things and I get it wrong. But having just gone through the process, were there any rough edges for either you, Bill or Ben, and things that we could have done better? Things we could change to make it easier for you or others in the future?
Oh, me personally, I find waffle quite hard to understand. But that's just a case of getting used to it. That's all. I mean, it's no big deal.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There is. More specifically, there is a confusion between waffle and the GitHub issues that I have. It's a little bit unclear, even in the documentation that says, "Well, find a GitHub issue and look up on waffle." And the relationship between those two things is a little bit opaque.
Sure.
But I don't really think it stopped me from doing anything.
No.
But I just forged ahead, though, and I might have done something that didn't, in fact, comport with the actual procedures. But it didn't seem like it, because everything went okay.
No. It's certainly the fact that either of you might have been unsure about what was going on didn't show through and didn't seem to stand in the way of great work getting done. So, but that's good. That's good to highlight. Maybe I'll just spend a second there on. I mean, there's the waffle board versus the issues. I think that's basically the interesting thing is that I think Federico and Michael know. Not sure about you, Bill and Ben, but the waffle has no kind of issue storage independently from GitHub. So waffle is kind of a wrapper on top of. It's just like an alternate view of the GitHub issues. So for any given, so we've got, for example, here, we can see, so we can see here, this here, when we click on this, so this is the one that you were working on, Bill, Ben.
Yes.
And so if we click on this number here, that actually takes us directly to the underlying GitHub issue that is where all the data is stored. And so all the things that we're seeing in the context of this ticket are, it's just this another representation of this same data.
Yeah, so I think it might have just been the wording of the docs that say, look on Waffle for an issue and then do some stuff on the GitHub issue without saying.
Yeah, so there's maybe there's room for like improving the clarity of the docs there.
But that's a minor quibble, I think. It didn't really trip me up, I don't know.
But yeah, clarity could be improved on docs. Yeah, and the key thing, of course, that Waffle provides is it allows us to assign a size to the thing that we can't do just purely in GitHub.
Is that the only?
Well, the other thing is it allows us to show this kind of board layout that we're familiar with. Interestingly, we do like the projects feature in GitHub can also now provide the board thing, but you have to import the tickets. You don't just like get it for free. With Waffle, it just lays out all of your existing tickets in a board layout. Yeah, and since I've merged this, I'm wondering why it's still got your thing there, Ben, in a please check thing. I had thought for if we look at the
was there some kind of button I didn't push that
I think what it is, I hadn't merged it in. My apologies. So it is in the right place. I had done some other things on it, and I think here coveralls is just like this, it's just not working recently. So I'm just going to go ahead and merge that now. And what we should see as a result of me merging it, I thought I'd done that already because I was just waiting for like see what coveralls, is it should move. There you go. Now it's been merged. It's been moved from please check into done. So and then we've got, so interestingly here, we've got this one, which is the change the stand-up text. Now that one has been, definitely has been merged. There was a pull request that went through because we've got it on production. But so if I can quickly find that, probably what it means was, I've got all these dependable ones. Can I put Control F, the boy Mo? There we go, that's it. So we may have just here, yeah. So what we didn't have in here that we can quickly add was we didn't have a note that it fixes 2016, like so. And if we just update that comment there, what we should see is, hope this might take a moment, yeah, is now we have the pull request associated with the feature, and we've already closed it. We can now like move it by hand, and that the board is now updated.
Oh, is that something you're supposed to add at the end, is it?
Yeah, so one of the things, and we've got it in the contributing thing, but it's certainly easy to miss the first time around, and you can always do it manually, but this, by having this text in here,
okay,
this, what it means is that one in the issue will then be connected here like this. So anybody browsing closed issues can go and see, oh, this was the code that fixed this issue. So that's kind of, it's a good thing for reporting kind of background. And it also has this effect of linking the particular pull request with the issue. And that's sort of, so here when we're looking through it, we can kind of see for, in principle, if they're all linked up, we can see for a given issue if there's a pull request associated with it yet or not. And if the pull request is associated with it, when the pull request gets merged, it will then move the entire ticket into the done column.
Oh, so you add that fixes and then the issue number, even before, when you've done your bit, even before someone else has reviewed it.
Yeah, yeah, because the sort of it's like this is it. I mean, and what we should probably do is add that to the. We've got these templates that you filled in clearly here. What we should, I think, we definitely do is add to that template. I've got action items here, but anyway, action items. I mean, there's so much to do in the docs, but templates for PR could include asking for issue number. That would make that less difficult to remember, wouldn't it? And then like up clarity, Waffle, and GitHub issues in docs. Okay, there we go. So thanks so much for sharing that, Bill and Ben. That's very much appreciated. Hopefully that helps us we can make improvements in the future for other people onboarding. Of course, now you know these things. It's kind of like a given, but we want to make it easy for other folks who are joining us. So the thing that we often have done in the meeting, of course, is vote on stories. Did anybody have any tickets that they were particularly keen to get voted on in this meeting?
No.
So perhaps we can move on from there. And just, were there any particular things that people wanted to bring up in the meeting and share? I guess I wanted to particularly talk about Airbrake.
I actually did too.
Okay, cool. Ben, we could certainly talk about the refactoring on your PR. But we don't have to. Ben, did you have anything else that you wanted to get covered in the meeting?
Yeah, I mean, it's related to Airbrake. When I did an upstream pull, and then I tried to run the code again,
it does unique project ID.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's.
And I sort of did some searching on that, and I put in a fake up thing, but I felt like it's kind of dangerous to be doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I'll resolve this issue for you. In that was part of what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Anything else? If not, Bill, Federico, Michael, anything else?
Me, no.
Nothing for Bill, Federico, Michael. Any issues you wanted addressing?
No, just I guess looking at my pull request, but that's not something for this meeting.
No, although if we finish up the meeting quickly, we can maybe, yeah, I mean, I can do that individually. I mean, it sounds like it's ready to go. This is your pull request on requiring login for premium sign up. So, and yeah, that's now in principle all working, is it?
Yeah.
Great. Federico, anything on your mind?
Yeah, first of all, can you hear me okay?
Yes, no problem at all.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Not exactly. I kind of just sort of in passing want to bring up maybe adding the hosting of the podcast down the line. So maybe just start discussing it. But
okay. Yeah. And it would be cool if it was like, so background here is we've got this podcast that we do called the Agile Book Club, and with myself and Michael and other people, and amazingly sound mastered by Federico. And we're reaching the limit of our hosting capacity on SoundCloud, and we would need to pay the money to manage that. And it's like, well, actually, we've got free hosting and basically what we need, I think, is we just need an RSS feed and hosting. And we've kind of got like quite a large amount of hosting that we can get for free on Azure. And there are like little, RSS apps that we could scaffold. I guess conceivably we could even be building it into the Agile Ventures site, so there was an Agile Ventures page that said the podcast, although like adding to the monolith makes me kind of go, ooh. But yeah, definitely something to think about. Would it make more sense for it to be like a standalone app? Sure, but yeah, Bill and Ben, if you're interested in more the Agile side and the Agile development, then you might be interested in checking out that podcast. I know Brent's been enjoying some of the discussions we've been having in there about how we try and use Agile in the Agile Ventures projects.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, the main thing is Airbrake. This was a big, we were talking about last week. There's performance, which is still potentially an issue. I guess, yeah, I over performance. I prioritized that we got Airbrake working, or we got some kind of error monitoring system working on production. And I made some changes after last week's meeting, and it now is working on production. And the reason that it wasn't working to its full extent on production was that we had some custom error handling in the system that was trying to like email us separately when custom errors occurred, when errors occurred, and that was just not working, and I don't know why, and I was just like, I don't even want to try and get that working. So on the off chance that you're interested in that, I could just show you where that happens and why it then ends up trying to force us to have this product ID, which I started updating the docs for, but it's definitely a pain for new users. So we have somewhere in the system, where is it? Is it in the config? I would have to find it. But the reason that I know that it's working is that we're now getting a whole slew of different errors coming through the system. Where's the custom error stuff gone? Is it called custom error? On preview. Really? Are you gonna? There we go. Custom error. Oh, go on. Oh, there we go. Custom errors spec. Okay, that's the spec. Custom errors module. Custom errors. There we go. All right. Where is it? Custom errors. Can you show me? It's in lib. Custom errors. Okay. Yeah. Module. Okay. Yep. So basically here, this is the custom thing that we had that tried to send us a message when things went wrong, and this is based on some kind of old gem and just doesn't work. I don't know, it's not working in our system. But so what I've done here is now, whereas previously Airbrake was only required in production mode, I've now got it requiring Airbrake. I guess conceivably I could move this to here, and then it will not. It's the presence of this require Airbrake here that is causing the system to demand a project ID, and you can get around that by simply adding a couple of things to your application.yaml file, or is it sort of .env file? Sorry, wrong project. So we go over here and Brain. I just added this to, I think it was the contributing docs, but what have we for website 1? Did I? Project ID? I did. Anyway, you don't care about that particularly. In principle, for new members coming in and I give them everyone a .env file, I can just make sure that includes that. But actually, just even looking at the code here, I think in principle, if I take this require Airbrake, I don't know, put it inside that thing here. So this is now, it's basically in production mode. So in the productions, all of the Heroku instances run in production. What this now does is actually, send the stuff to Airbrake. If we didn't have the module custom errors in place, like this line here captures all of the errors. And it ensures that, rather than the site looking completely broken, it kind of like gives us this internal error page could be improved to say, look, we're really sorry that something went wrong, rather than just saying 500 internal error. That's another story. But the most critical thing, I think, is because we can't rely on users to tell us about the errors and what goes wrong all the time, was this. So that actually we do have this stuff sent out through Airbrake. It's now coming through. I guess I could just check there. If we look for website 1 and try and run the app, if that no longer requires it. But so Ben, from all of my chat there, and I know you were talking about like using some sort of fake thing or this, that, and the other. Is it now clear what you would need to do in order to get the app running locally?
If in fact this Airbrake thing demand is still being made?
Yeah, we'll see now. If I just run Rails S here locally, we'll see about this. Oh.
But anyway, yeah, I sort of I looked it up. Other people have been having, I've had that issue in other projects, and I added something, but not to the end. Maybe that would have been a better place.
Yeah, I think that's the simplest thing. I mean, you can in principle add it on the command line. I think actually with that change, I may have been able to see, like there, I think I just had it run another window. Like the simple solution to it is, if it's demanding the project ID, I think it is Airbrake _ project ID. You can just give it environment variables on the command line like this, and it kind of doesn't even really care what they are, and then you can run your Rails server like so. But I think I was going to complain there. What is it? Yeah, no, it is. It's still requiring it.
Yeah.
I guess that's interesting. Even like it's inside the if thing. I want like a so project ID is required. Pane. Yeah. So then, like, there's two things that we need. God, I thought I shared that in the Slack channel. For everybody. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So I this is the, of course, not everybody's looking and monitoring all the Slack channels all the time. So I'll just put that in here now in the Slack channel. But so you basically want these two things. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, like so. Basically,
Okay.
if you put those in your .env file, and it looks like that's just going to be, we need that going forward. Because I guess even if I have that required inside that if thing, it still gets pulled in. So that's a step forward now in terms of we are getting some interesting new errors that we have not seen before coming through there. So I haven't looked at them in too much detail, but I can tell it's like, you know, the higher numbers of them, you know, they're going on. I haven't seen anything yet that I'm aware of being completely critical, but there's certainly stuff to work on there. I guess that's kind of, we've covered most things. I guess the other thing to do would be to look at, is anybody looking for new tickets to work on, things to do? I think particularly Bill and Ben, you've just completed tickets. Were you interested in doing more?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm interested in doing more. I mean, there's the other one I was already looking at, but I've not had a chance to do anything at the moment because I've been tied up with all what's it, the edX course and
Sure.
courseware.
Yeah.
I'm interested in doing any tickets which are just smaller that I can fit around the other things I'm working on instead of like some large.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm just looking through then the in progress column. So we've got Aaron Chalk, who's another premium member. He's also just trying to get into the course, and he's looking at this. This is potentially quite a simple one. He and I were working on that the other day. You could reach out with him to pair on that, although I think his availability, and he's still sort of finding his feet. Although I think he's got a lot of programming experience in the Java world. This is the one that Michael's working on. The Google sign up is now working. I guess there was the side of that because we looked at that together, Bill, and your research allowed me to fix that. There was were you looking at can we have a test that?
That's the one I was. We'll be starting as soon as this Christmas is over, the other side of Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
By then I'll have all these assignments out of the way.
Yeah. And I guess you're saying, but this one felt like it was kind of a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you'd be interested to start on something potentially smaller than that one. Okay. So I'm just going through here. We've got Sigurd still working on the calendar view of events. We've got Praveen has sort of like gone.
There, which is just changing the title, which is just simple. I don't mind doing those simple ones, you know, just.
Oh yeah, to just changes to the view.
Typos and stuff like that. I don't mind knocking those out.
Yeah, totally. I'm just looking through to see if we've got any there. Let's have a look. We've got the ready. We've got better representation of upgrading subscription. I don't know what that is. What's this? Okay, that's a more complex one. We've got fortnightly or week. That's more complex. Several hours. I think that still shows live. And Ben, you might be willing to look at something with a little bit of meat on it, I would imagine.
Yes, either way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so these ones, I'm not sure that I would necessarily describe them as beginner friendly, but not too so like, I guess I would say like this one here. This would involve a bit of JavaScript.
Yeah, I looked at that one, and it looks like I was confused about the back and forth about it because it seems like there's disagreement about whether it's a problem or not, or maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I mean, I think this one is I think there's general agreement that this is an issue in but there's a couple of different places, and I think it's something that I think would, if we could fix up, would really improve the kind of excuse me, general experience of the site. We've got, so this, well, maybe we should break it into two bits. There's specifically this little pop-up that comes up on all the pages apart from the homepage, which gives a countdown to the next main meeting. And it gives a live countdown because it's got a JavaScript timer. But once the meeting actually starts, if the page is left here now, this will say live forever. It does not, like, you know, take into account how long the meeting is and then sort of switch into the off mode saying like website one planning has finished after the meeting is finished, if you know what I mean.
I see. You know, it's funny. I did a little bit of thinking about this issue actually, and it seems to me that it's never certain how long the meetings are going to last.
That's totally true. Although I think so, like in the ideal world, and that's something we might get to with the Paranox project or some future when we've done to upgrade to Rails 5 and we can use WebSockets. We could basically keep all of the clients all around the world, like in the, you know, so that they knew the accurate state of affairs. Like, you know, we can imagine that corner case where, like, if we did the simple thing, which is just like, say, website one planning is set to be half an hour. Yeah. So it would then automatically switch off after half an hour, or it would just, you know, wouldn't say live anymore. We can say, oh, if the meeting actually ran for 35 minutes, it would be a shame for those people who thought they could jump in for the last 5 minutes. At the same time, actually, I think just it would you know, it would just be better for it to say finished after 30 minutes because it doesn't, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be that good.
Not that much of a shame.
Yeah, and in some ways, if we don't necessarily want to encourage people. If a meeting has run over and it's still live, we don't necessarily want to encourage people coming into the end of it to make it even longer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So this could very possibly be split into two tickets. Then, so
just the JavaScript part and the.
Well, what I'd say is that, like, so there's, well, it's in order to achieve it, it's all JavaScript.
Okay.
Like this currently countdown. We've got this one thing here, which is a timer that counts down in real time, but doesn't ever, you know, not go live. We've also got on the home page, we've got this timer, which tells you the amount of time, but it doesn't count down. And in principle, it could, using exactly the functionality that we have, you know, on this page. This one, I guess. Yeah. So this one is now, see, like actively counting down. Right.
So we would have to use JavaScript in both places.
Right. So, well, this is already using JavaScript here.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I understand that, but the other one isn't.
Yeah. The moment the other one is not using JavaScript at all. I mean,
but it would have to. You're saying in order to
get that one pretty regularly. Yeah. For the homepage, in order for this to be counting down, I think it would have to use JavaScript. But we've already got that countdown functionality in that little pop-up. So the functionality is already done. We just need to like use it again here.
Right. Just drop some JavaScript in there and call that function.
Yeah, exactly.
The same way that it's. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, totally. But so that's definitely two different things that could be considered independently, although they are kind of related to each other. I would maybe go. I mean, the other thing is having this on the front page actually is, I think, half of our performance problem. So, because like every time the site is hit, we use the scheduling gem to work out in the sequence of all of the different events that possibly run, which is the next event. And it requires working out the sequences for all of those events. I mean, there may be still some ways to improve that. So, I mean, something to experiment with to improve the performance of the site is just to like say, let's just not display this on the front page and turn off that pre-calculation step, because we've got like 10,000 AdWord people coming in here and landing on this, and maybe they never go anywhere else, but they add up to quite a consistent load on our site. But yeah, this one, I think particularly focusing on the like several event hours after event goes live, it still shows us live even though long over. So like if we take this, you know, what Michael's explicitly saying here, if you wanted to work on just adjusting the existing countdown functionality that we see in the corner of, you know, these, but don't worry about the homepage. But if we
Basically,
could,
just tell it the duration, and then
yeah, just
test every time it updates. Test to see if that duration has passed, and if it has,
yeah, totally.
Do
That would
something
be.
else.
I would be excited. For it. So shall I add you? Are you? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm into that.
Awesome. All right, found one for you there. That's great. And then we'll go on here. So yeah, I guess is there any other little title tweaks or things for Bill? But I'm not immediately seeing any like that. We may find some. I can always on some other reviews do that. We'll have to be
I
here.
was going to say there's issue 2017. Was that the one opened last week?
2017.
That's a simple one you can do in between all the other things I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're right there. Absolutely. Yes. And I guess that's the thing. Now, where would I see the title of the? I guess if that's in the. I guess in the back. Is that if I hold that down? Yeah, I guess it's like here. It's saying Agile Ventures website 1, website 1. So I guess it's this thing here is like saying, and I'm actually looking at it here rather than this saying like. I guess does that mean that's the homepage? That's the events. I guess the comment is that website 1 is maybe not needed in there. I guess except to like bombard people with the information that's the code name for the project. Yeah. Well, that's mentioned. Obviously, irritated one person. So we could even just quickly vote on that one, and then get that assigned. Yeah. So I'll just start a vote there in the website 1 channel. This is like remove 1 from the titles. That's there. With voter, not vote. Okay. So I think everybody wants to. Any further discussion or questions related to this feature? If not, I think we can probably go ahead and get that voted on.
As it gets, isn't it?
Pretty much. I think so. I can't see any complexity in there. Yeah. So I mean, and it sounds like you're interested in it, Bill.
I could do quickly and easily and carry on working with all the other things.
Yeah, totally.
Something done.
Yeah. So are you in the website 1 channel? Do you want to quickly vote there?
Oh, okay. All right. Oh yeah.
All right. So I'm suspecting we might be unanimous, and we are. So that's there. Okay. Well, mission accomplished there. I think that's our entire agenda. Yeah. I think we're done. Yeah, I need to go and review Michael's PR, and yeah. That's it. Anything else that we need to coordinate before our next run of a week?
The mob tomorrow for data
Mining?
for deep learning or whatever.
Yes.
We're gonna review lecture 3, right?
Yeah, we're going to look at the
Okay.
remainder of that K nearest neighbor.
Yeah.
Lecture 3.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Oh, before you go, Michael.
And then on to support vector machine.
What?
Sorry, say again, Ben.
And then on to support vector machine after that.
Yeah. At least the linear classifier, which I think is maybe the beginning of that assignment. We'll work out what that is for the next round. Yeah, and the other thing I am doing, I'm slowly and steadily working through all of the premium data and like updating the dates to be correct, so that we have a single source of truth. And as I'm making notes on, in order to, we need. I think we already have it as a ticket. We have. We need to switch the subscriptions relation with the individuals to have a many-to-many relationship. But I guess we either have a ticket or
Existing premiums should get upgraded when trying to sign up for a new plan. I think that's what you're right?
Well, no, this one is about that. Like again, we were confused about that. This is these are about the like experience from the end user point of view, not about the relationships internally to it. But if we want to accurately have it, Anyway, I'll create new tickets as appropriate. I guess we don't need to recover that. I'm basically going through and building a big list of all of the changes that we need to the underlying model structure in order to make an accurate reflection of what's going on. Okay, good show. Yeah, has anybody got anything else to raise?
I was just going to quickly say with that title. I remember you saying the other day you don't test views.
No.
So would you not even bother to write a test, or would you add a test to?
Well, I'd probably put since it's been a request from a user.
Yeah.
I would want to have an acceptance test.
Okay.
So in the same way that you did for the stand-up lead thing, I mean, you could look through the existing things. It may be that title thing that's like that, it ends up being like the mouse over and it appears in a few places, may not have an explicit acceptance test for it. So you may want to find a place to fit in an acceptance test for that.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Yep.
Good show, everyone. Good meeting. I hope that was. I'm running these in ways that don't make people want to scream with distaste. Federico has very kindly shared the link to the podcast in the chat there. Do listen to our podcast and rate us on iTunes and help spread the Agile love. You can
at the very least, subscribe and rate.
Right.
Right on.
Okay.
You don't have to listen to it.
Yeah. Go on, Michael.
So supposedly the U.S. government saying that North Korea was behind the attack on the NHS.
Right. Yes, I've heard that. They're big Bitcoin fans, aren't
they? Bitcoin?
North Korea or the NHS?
Well, I think North Korea. Well, I mean, that was the attack on the NHS was like the WannaCry thing. They had to pay in Bitcoin.
Oh, I see.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. With the competent U.S. leadership will resolve any issue with North Korea successfully. Sleep well.
Thank you. Yeah, you do the same.
Good stuff.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.